Hello and welcome to Industry Elites. On this podcast, Industry Elites' very own Natalie and Vicki are going to be discussing the latest news trending around the world.
The reason we wanted to start Industry Elites was to be able to have in-depth conversations and discussions with industry leaders from different professions. We want to be able to hear about the knowledge they've gained and the perspectives they can offer from their fields of work.
We will be looking at how they've reached their current positions in the industry, where and if they have found their definition of success, and to also take a more professional view of understanding who they are as individuals, aside from being known just for their profession.
There are endless possibilities when it comes to professions out there in the world today. Industry Elites will be bringing them all to you. From music to technology to medical professionals, we will be covering it all here. And let's leave it to the professionals and see the tips and tricks they can provide us all with.
We are excited to be a part of sharing these industry leaders' stories, but since we are about figuring out our new normal in regards to COVID-19, we wanted to start addressing how everyone is coping so far.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the Industry Elites podcast. In today's episode, we will be discussing the mysterious global pandemic, the coronavirus, or as most of us know it now, as COVID-19. By now, we have all been affected by COVID-19 in one way or another. Some of us are doing our part by working from home and social distancing, while others are on the front lines helping us get through this. We would like to take a moment to thank all of the essential workers and the doctors and nurses for their tireless work during this uncertain time. So, let's talk Corona.
So what is coronavirus? Coronaviruses are a large family of viruses. Some cause illness in people and others cause illness in animals. Human coronaviruses are very common and are typically associated with mild illness similar to a cold. COVID-19 is a new disease that has been previously identified in humans. Rarely, animal coronaviruses can affect people, and more rarely, these can spread from person to person through close contact.
I guess we finally found out what coronavirus actually is. I didn't know the real definition of it. Did you?
I honestly didn't. I knew it was something that we were supposed to avoid at all costs, and it's sweeping the nation, but not more detailed than that. I've heard that it's basically a very bad pneumonia kind of case.
I think what a lot of us have realized that there's a bunch of fake news. I don't know about you, Vicki, but I think in my household, the news has been on like majority of the day. And then you're watching something and I'm like, I don't even know if this is true or not. And so it's quite interesting to read the list that you found. I don't know. What do you think?
No, it's completely true. In between having the TV on myself, watching so many things on YouTube, podcasts, even my mother's blowing up my phone telling me, oh, she heard this, she heard that. And I've seen a lot of kind of weird myths come through. One in particular, it's more so about staying home than it is Corona. But this was coming from the BBC. So I'm going to assume a lot of people believe it, that if your internet is slow, to turn on your microwave when downloading. It will somehow magically boost your internet.
Huh. Well, I don't even think I could just use that, like you said, for coronavirus. My internet is so crappy. I could use that for like 365 days out of the year if that's what's going to fix it.
And who knew? All you had to do was turn on the microwave.
That reminds me of those shows where I saw where people had to unplug their microwave because then they could use like their air conditioning or something. I feel like that's this same situation, just moonlighted on a totally different thing.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, so some of the ones that I thought was really funny that we should probably share. One of them, there seems to be a lot of theme with heat. Actually, temperature in general. One of the ones I came across was if you expose yourself to the sun or temperatures more than 25 degrees Celsius, people think this will just burn off the coronavirus, which it won't. So don't try that at home.
Well, that's quite interesting considering the fact that we're nowhere, I feel like, near getting to 25 degrees outside. So that is also depressing, even though it's probably not true. It's depressing at the same point because that's months probably before we're going to see 25-degree weather.
The myths also have good old Canada covered with that too. There's one saying that cold weather and snow will also not kill the virus.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, then you have like two different outlooks right there. But then another one you have with being able to hold your breath for 10 seconds or more without coughing or feeling discomfort does not mean you're free from the coronavirus disease or any other lung disease.
That one I thought was really funny because there's your at-home test. I held my breath, good go.
Yeah, I don't have coronavirus, nor am I sick with anything else. I feel like 10 seconds is really short.
I agree.
Like, if you can't hold your breath for 10 seconds, like, what?
Yeah, I feel like even little kids trying to like be cool in a pool can at least do 30 seconds.
Yeah, but 30 seconds, anything more than that, like, my face is turning blue.
Yeah, we're pushing it.
Were you ever the kid to like, okay, let's go swimming, and then they're like, okay, let's see who can hold their breath the longest underwater? I lost after 30 seconds. Like, I was never winning that game.
No, I was bad at that. I was good when we went down those like floaty diving things that you throw in the deep end. I was good at that.
Oh, yeah. No, see, I would always dive. Well, first off, I can't dive at all. So I basically belly flopped into the water, and then I wouldn't really make it farther down than just getting my feet under, therefore not even reaching the bottom of the pool. So it was quite sad, actually, to be completely honest with you.
If we could go back in time, I would collect all the pool toys for you.
Yes, you would probably have been one of my great friends then too, considering those would have stayed there all pool season if it was only me. Oh boy. So I have another one here. Drinking alcohol does not protect you against COVID-19 and can be dangerous. Well, that sucks.
Yeah, so one I found kind of horribly ironic with that, because we've seen a lot on social media, people kind of posting parties or just day drinking to day drink. That alcohol actually brings down your immune system. So that's kind of counterintuitive based upon this is an immune attacking disease.
Well, that really sucks. I mean, I guess I was kind of lied to my whole life growing up, because being Croatian, there's this like alcohol you drink. It's called like rakia. And they said that you take a shot of that and it cures any sickness in your body and gets rid of it. So basically, they've just been misinformed our entire lives, and we've done it, and clearly it's just not helped us.
No, it's true. From being German too, we have one is called Elfenbitters, and it's basically a very cough syrupy tasting Jägermeister. And if you have a stomach ache, you take a shot of that. If you have a toothache, you take a shot of that. If you really don't feel good, you warm it up and take a shot of that.
You warm it up?
You warm it up. They microwave it.
In your microwave that's powering your internet?
Yeah, same one. So needless to say, it doesn't do anything.
Well, I guess we have a bone to pick after we get out of this. We've been told this, and we're just not going to get anywhere from it. But I guess it's more so, it's just more so going to stick with us, whether or not it works for us or not.
It's true. It's a thing now.
All right.
What else do we got here on the list? Another one that goes back to temperature. There's a theme we have here. Taking a hot bath does not prevent the coronavirus. So if you boil yourself in a hot tub, a bathtub, a sauna, a shower, it still will not prevent coronavirus.
See, that's interesting, because I actually think this is probably one of the more legitimate points on here, because I feel like when you're sick, one of the things, like, isn't it kind of like you either have like a steaming pot, or they're like put a towel over your head with the steam, or take a shower with some hot water, or take a bath. Like, I'm actually surprised at that one. How about you?
That's actually a good point, because we always get told when we were younger to kind of sweat it out, get the kind of illness out of your body. But I feel like it's probably stronger than what you would think.
Stronger than the bath can handle.
Yeah. Well, another good point with your the hot bowl of water, the towel over your head. Another one is regularly rinsing your nose with saline will also not prevent corona. So I'm assuming the thought process behind this is that if you were to inhale any of the kind of virus particles, that if you just rinsed out your nose, you'd be kind of good to go. But that is a myth, so do not try that at home.
Okay, is there something, what's it called? The neti pot? Have you tried that before?
No, I would not be capable of doing that. No. I don't like anything like that.
So no, me neither. I definitely don't, and I've not tried it. But I guess I'm fascinated the fact that people can do that to themselves. Like, when someone's like, "Oh, I can never do that," whether it's, I don't know, pulling out their own tooth or walking on a sprained ankle, something crazy like that. But I could not put the saline, like the teacup thing, up my nose to drain it out. That to me is like, I feel like I'm gonna drown from the inside, and I'm just helping myself do that.
Yeah, honestly, just having this conversation, my eyes are watering. I cannot.
My nose just got like all tender.
Yeah, I'm not about that. I applaud everyone who is capable of it. You're stronger and braver than I, but I just cannot.
I think, though, it has worked for people, obviously not fighting off the coronavirus in this case, but just generally being sick. I've heard from a lot of people, my friends, that they've had positive experiences, but I guess you and I are just roughing it in this case, and we don't need the neti pots. Like, we'll just recover on our own.
We'll just have stuffy noses until it goes away.
Yeah, stuffy noses from like November to February, and then after that, we're good to go.
Until allergy season kicks in, it starts all over again. Oh my gosh.
I mean, at this point, since we're all in self-isolation, I guess I don't really have to worry too much about allergies, but that's equally sad all at the same time.
Oh, I'm so concerned. My whole apartment is lined with like mature trees, and they're already starting to bud. I'm very, very, and it's all where my windows are too. It's not going to be a good time.
So you're going to have a nice, fresh, spring-smelling apartment.
Oh, it'll be wonderful.
You're going to have all of your allergy medication set aside, ready to go in the event that you need to use it sooner than we might all think.
I'm not going to lie, when the quarantine started, I purposely stocked up on allergy meds because I'm like, these are the first things that are going to go.
See, that's interesting. We'll talk about it more later, but all the different things that people think they need in a time of this crisis, I guess. So yeah, that's definitely a good one. One other point you had here, right? Eating garlic does not prevent infection with the new coronavirus.
Surprising, I know. So I had to do some research on this because I've never heard of garlic as any form of like disease preventative measure. But apparently garlic is a great immune system booster and antioxidant. So I think that's where people kind of got that idea from. Because I've noticed even like I take vitamin C vitamins regularly, and you cannot get them anywhere right now. They're out of stock.
Really?
Yeah, they're out of stock on Amazon. They're out of stock at most grocery stores. I think that's kind of the thought process there. If you take natural things to boost your immune system, you'll have a better fighting chance against it. But what we're learning statistic-wise, Corona doesn't discriminate. So wash your hands, everyone.
Yeah. Clearly. And I think it's 20 seconds is the rule for washing your hands. It has to be a minimum of that. It's funny, all the songs that people are making up or little tricks in order to get people to get that 20-second mark. But it's only 20 seconds. Like, why are people having such a hard time washing hands for 20 seconds?
You'd be surprised. Are you singing any songs when you do it?
No, I mean, I'm not. I am counting though. But I mean, like, I thought I was washing them for 20 seconds anyway, but now warranted obviously this whole situation, I find myself counting. So I think that's my thing. Are you singing any songs?
Yes.
I
have been. I've just been going through like kid ones. Like I sung ABCs in French and English, and Mary Had a Little Lamb. That's been a normal one. I'm really bored at home.
I mean, that's definitely a good one then. I just feel like I maybe never thought of the actual song that I could use. So my less creative part of me just reformed to counting. But the fact that you're actually able to think of it, that probably shows that your mind works a lot more in a creative mindset than mine ever will.
Art school. It makes you sing while you wash your hands.
So side note on that, I know you mentioned that a lot of the stuff you were ordering for the vitamins off Amazon. Are you ordering anything else? Like, is Amazon your go-to place for getting some things that you may need in this social isolation?
To be honest, it was, but it's just everything's out of stock nowadays. It's most of the necessities are gone, and dry goods, toilet paper is I saw a back order date on toilet paper on Amazon the other day, and it was into May. People aren't getting certain supplies like that. I've just kind of laid off Amazon a bit just because there hasn't been everything. Yeah, I tried to go to Walmart last night, and I didn't realize that they're letting X amount of people in the store at once.
Oh, really?
And there was a huge lineup. Everyone was about 6 feet apart in their designated groups to get into the store, but the lineup wrapped all the way around the store. And I didn't ask anyone, but I was estimating it would be at least like half an hour to an hour to get just into the store.
And what was the final time?
I went home, and I'm going to try again Friday night just before they close.
Yeah. I mean, that seems like, it seems smart because you kind of have to be, I think, strategic in that sense, because clearly that's probably people's main priority now is like, okay, where do they have like groceries? Where do they have the supplies that I need? And since most people are at home during the day, they're just going out and being like, okay, well, I need to shop for this, I need to shop for that.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And I was relatively prepared for going to the store. Like I put a Lysol wipe in a Ziploc baggie to wipe down the cart.
That's good. That's smart.
Yeah, I thought of one of the things that everyone is going to be touching. And I had a bottle of Perel in my pocket, ready to keep kind of distance. I think the trick to have a list, go in and get exactly what you need and just kind of get out as fast as possible. A friend of mine went to Costco the other day, and she had a lineup as well. But she said when she got in there, people were just shopping as normal. They were lingering in the aisles. They were going through the clothes section, touching all the clothes. And she was like, no, you get what you need, you get out.
Yeah, like it's not leisurely. People need to, like you said, you need to have a list. You need to be organized. I was going to say, I know I saw this one thing on Facebook, so I don't know exactly where this might have been, in which like country or state or province, but it was a grocery store. And not only did they have a limit of people that could be in the store, you know how obviously there's aisles and you can go from both ends of the aisle? Well, not anymore. They had directional instructions. So if you were going down a specific aisle, it would tell you, okay, no, stop. Like you need to enter from the opposite way. So everybody would be going in the same direction in order to kind of maintain their 6 feet apart social distancing. So I thought that was pretty impressive. And that was probably an extra step that the store didn't need to take, but chose to, obviously, given these circumstances.
Yeah, it's one of those things that it's a great idea. Like it definitely makes sense when you hear it laid out. Because if you had two people, one person going one way and one person going the other way, your 6 feet is already compromised. I think that makes way more sense. And some of these things I almost wish we would have post-pandemic. Because I'm kind of appreciating some of these contactless deliveries.
I know, right?
They even I did end up getting an Amazon order, I think last week. And the guy, so I'm in an apartment. The guy buzzed me, told me my delivery was here, and he just left. It's like I'm kind of liking this lack of human contact.
See, and I find myself, it's the opposite. Like I went for a few walks, obviously maintaining my social distancing on lunch, and I found myself being more friendly than I normally am. Like each person I'm walking by, I'm like, hello, how are you doing? Just maintaining this conversation. And people are probably like, ma'am, we just have to not be close to each other. I'm like, yeah, it's just like we can still talk. Probably
That's funny.
Yeah, it's probably a little creepy to these people, but what are you gonna do?
They're probably like, isolation has gotten to her.
Probably. They probably were heavily concerned, but at that point, what are you gonna do?
Well, I guess on that note, have you been doing anything exciting to kind of keep yourself out of boredom during this quarantine?
I've been doing the exciting. So I can't say exciting is the word that I would use. I mean, I think I'm utilizing every other option that I have. Like one day, obviously, we're watching Netflix and like watching TV shows and movies. I feel like that's like on people's essential list now for things that you can do. Probably go for walks. And then that honestly, minus like board games and cards and stuff like that. I don't know. That's all I got. How about you?
Yeah, pretty much about the same. Netflix, any form of streaming service, video games. That's kind of about it. I find right now, that's another thing. On Amazon, there's no board games available. They are all sold out. So if you didn't have a stash of board games to begin with, there's no hope anymore.
Oh my goodness. See, that's what I mean. Everyone's looking for other things to do. Like, I know people have been downloading different, obviously, apps on your phone. So, like, I downloaded Scrabble. So that was my thing. I was just getting mad at it, though, because then I couldn't figure out the word. And then this frustration level went over. And I'm like, why am I getting mad about Scrabble? Like, this is not okay.
Yeah, I downloaded the Game of Life app to play that, and same deal.
No
I kept
way.
getting frustrated.
That was an awesome game. Like, I remember playing that. Like, because they have a board game version first, right? And then that's just turned into an app.
Yeah, now it's very advanced. They've kind of like modernized it. So like if you go to school, you have to take out a student loan, and you can only take out X amount of student loan if you want to be a doctor or a lawyer or a plumber or what have you. It's almost not like a kid's game anymore. It's almost like an actual like strategic board game now.
So you're saying in my other life, I could be a doctor?
Yes.
I mean, like in real life, no one would want me to be a doctor, but it's good to know that we can achieve that high level of success somewhere.
It's okay. No one would want me to be a doctor either, so that's fine.
I can only imagine, like, no, but really though, in this time and like the stuff that obviously doctors and anybody in the medical profession, healthcare profession are having to do for us, I applaud them immensely, because definitely there's only few people that could do that profession and do it well. Clearly, we've justified that we would not be good in that position whatsoever.
Yes, it's true, especially with the hours they're putting in now, with the lack of proper equipment, and just kind of the unknown. This isn't a situation that we've had in, pretty much 100 years. They're kind of learning the situation on the go, but doing awesome as far as I think the whole country's concerned.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty impressed how many people are stepping up to donate and to volunteer to help, in any way that they can. I saw another post on Facebook. Clearly, that's where I get all my legitimate information from. But it was a mom and daughter. They were taking a bunch of headbands that they had, washing them, whatever, like those Lulu headbands that were popular before. And they would sew 2 large buttons on either end, on both ends of the headband, so that when the nurses wear masks, because obviously behind their ears is really sensitive. So what you could do is you take the elastics, and instead of it going behind your ear, it goes onto the buttons around them. So then you don't have to worry about like the sensitivity behind your ear.
That is super smart, because I saw.
Isn't that crazy?
That is super smart, because I was seeing photos kind of all over. It's all over everything now. Just kind of pick a platform. But seeing people's faces were like kind of chafed from the mask, from their goggles. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy, like the level that they have to go through just to wear like proper protective equipment.
Mm-hmm. Like I know my mom, she works within the healthcare system. But what's happening is because her job isn't currently running at the moment due to Corona, they ended up redeploying people to different hospitals to help with screening. So she was at one of the hospitals nearby, and she sits at kind of like the front entrance, and she has to ask people, like when they're coming in, either as visitors or staff, like, oh, are you feeling any symptoms? Like, who are you here to visit? And there's lists of people that are allowed to enter. And then there's lists of, if you're not on the list pretty much, then like you can't come in. So she's having to kind of screen those people. And all they have is just like kind of a plexiglass, and they sit behind that and then checking people in. But it's just crazy when she says like the amount of people that come in and the amount of people that can't.
Yeah, that's I couldn't imagine working in a hospital right now, and especially with kind of all the new setups they're doing. I've noticed, not that I've been in a hospital lately, but I've noticed even my pharmacy, they have plastic drop sheets hanging from the ceiling, covering the entire counter. The pharmacist will put the debit machine up to the plastic, and you just tap. And then they have a little window out of the plastic where they hand you your prescriptions through. It's almost like, you know that scene in E.T. where they have all the plastic everywhere and everyone's in hazmat suits? It was exactly that.
No.
It was so surreal. I feel like at this point, like, my mind still hasn't grasped that this is actually happening.
That this is a real situation that now we're all sitting in the midst of, just waiting to see what happens.
Yeah, it's just like we've never experienced, well, I'm sure even our parents haven't experienced anything like this. It's just such a surreal situation where no one really knows what to expect. No one really knows what to do. We're all just kind of hanging out at home, I guess, waiting for the next set of instructions.
I feel like it's in a movie. Like, genuinely, I feel like, obviously not a good movie, but we're all sitting here and then this is something that would play out on our TV screens. Like, I know people are saying the movie Contagion. I haven't watched it yet, but I guess the parallels between that movie and our current situation are apparently very aligned. So I don't know. Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it, but it's trending on everything right now. So
see, to me, that it definitely is saying something if people are making those large connections, but that's just scary.
There's actually a funny one. Like, there's an anime. It was made in the 80s and it's called Akira. But the funny parallel about that is one of the plot lines is there's this huge pandemic that kind of creates this like post-apocalyptic Tokyo. And the same year that happens in this anime was the Tokyo Olympics were supposed to be hosted, in which they were supposed to be hosted this year with a pandemic.
Oh my God.
We've had the future told in the 80s about this.
That to me is crazy because I feel like I saw a similar thing. So someone shared with me an article that linked back to a Netflix TV show. And I'm actually going to find it right now. So this Netflix TV show was created, I think, a few years ago, maybe in 2016, I think was the day that this show premiered. And it's called My Secret Tireless, Terrorius. And in one of the episodes, it's basically names coronavirus by name and saying how it's a virus that attacks your respiratory system. And it's saying basically that it was released on people to, I guess, shorten some individuals' mortality. So that was the thing that was trending on Facebook that I saw. And it was another crazy, crazy parallel. So clearly people are very in tune with the parallels that are going on and wondering how coronavirus maybe got started.
Yeah, that is absolutely crazy. The funny thing is they always say The Simpsons tells the future, right? I guess we beat The Simpsons on that one.
Oh, true. I always see people screenshot the stuff from there. And some of the things I've been shocked. Like, I have no idea.
Yeah, some of them are on point and it's almost scary. Like, what did you guys know that we didn't know?
And where are you getting this information? Because I think this outlet needs to be shared with the rest of us because I really need to know if we're all sitting in social isolation for another 3 months or not.
I think they're kind of giving us a buffer just to be safe, but I'd be very upset if this lasted all the way through summer.
So clearly there's a lot of different things going on with coronavirus and a lot of people that are affected, which we've realized through the different concepts that we've chatted about today. I think as long as we can stay positive and keep a good outlook on what's to come with keeping ourselves busy, spending time with our family, and doing as much as we can to keep our brains intact, we should be good to go. How does that sound to you, Vicki?
Sounds good to me. And also remember to everybody else to keep washing your hands, keeping distance between everybody, not getting into groups, and just kind of keeping up to date. I know it's kind of getting tiresome now, but just keeping up to date with the news, any kind of new information, any, I guess, new kind of guidelines we should be following. And just, like Natalie said, stay positive, and we'll see where it goes.
Yes, stay away from the fake news.
That is true. Hashtag.
Yes. All right. See you guys.
Okay. Thanks for listening.